Before we start playing the game, I want to double check with you on the newest developer update from June. If you watch this live on stream, you should see it on Thursday, 20th of June, a few hours after this one was released. If you watch this on YouTube, it's probably Monday, so you're a little bit late to the party, but it's okay, I guess. I probably won't release it before Monday. So first changes for the next patch are tonight. The knight will be able to swap manually between guards. I have mixed feelings about that, but it's good overall. Because similar to Vecna, it's basically like you choose between your 3 powers and not you have to pick that one that the game just tells you to use. Also because of that, they rebalanced the Carnifex and the Jailer, which is really good. On short terms, Carnifex so far was the longest guard to chase survivors and also was the fastest on breaking stuff. And now they make the Jailer the one hunting the survivors the most to take off some value from Carnifex, adding it to Jailer, which is good, I guess. So you actually have a decent reason to use all 3 of them. Why do I have mixed feelings? I'm not a knight main, so this is pure speculation. Please take that with a grain of salt. But I enjoy playing him here and there a little bit. And I always felt like the Carnifex and the Assassin are all I need. The Jailer is nice. It was nice to have him. And if you played it with certain add-ons, the Jailer was actually kinda nice. But you could also do the same on doubling up on the Carnifex in the past. So yeah, therefore I have no real sight to how much that will affect the play actually. It could be potentially good, and I hope that, or it could also deeply go wrong and you only see Jailers now everywhere instead of Carnifex or Assassin. Different hunters, different guards, different reasons. Overall, I'm looking forward to this. This seems good. Singularity. Singularity got a lot of changes, and holy shit, that's actually impressive. First of all, biopods will now automatically aim at the survivor that are closest to the biopods if they are targetable. I'm not a huge fan of stuff like this. In the beginning, when I started playing, I loved to use that Blight add-on that turns you to the closest survivor in a radius of 16 meters. Until at some point I noticed that kinda terrible to use that, because yes, you know where the closest survivor is, but at the same time mostly there is an object behind you, between you and the survivor, so you have to go around it anyway, so you need to align your sight again. On the biopods it's different, I guess. I have to see how that works out. They changed how the targeting works, which is good, I guess. We need to wait how this will be on the PTB. Yeah, or the live version, depending on. The ability to destroy a controlled biopod is really important, because that was one of the things that was annoying on Singularity, that you actually had to run all across the map to destroy biopods, even though you can control them from everywhere. But you need to go back there to actually collect it. So you can now control which biopod you destroy, even on a distance, which is really good. And also, there was an add-on that made you hear the sounds around your biopods. It was a yellow add-on. It took you like half a second or so, and then you could actually hear through the biopod, which you, without that add-on, you couldn't. So this is a huge improvement. Obviously the add-on needs to be reworked. I already said that. The killer now gets Killer Instinct when a survivor slipstreamed. Might be a bit too much. I get where this is coming from, yes. But this might be a bit too much, depending on how long this Kill Instinct lasts. If it's like 1 or 2 seconds, just that you know, okay, it's that direction, then yeah, maybe. If it's like 5 or more, like a Nemesis vaccines or so, then it's a problem. But we need to look at that. Also, the last controlled biopod is marked yellow for longer than 5 seconds, which is also really good, I guess. Overclock got partially reworked. I guess that's fine. So the overclock duration no longer scales with the amount of slipstream survivors. I bet many people didn't know that, because I didn't either. And the overclock base duration is 1 second longer now. Instead of 4.7, it's 5.7. Overall, seems like a fair change. Gives you a little bit more value on base kit. A little less depending on your skill. Makes it easier to learn him. Yeah, aim assist to shooting slipstream survivors. So this is the Soma family photo add-on. Wait. This is something else again. I'm sorry, these patch notes are a little bit confusing. Added an aim assist effect to shooting a slipstream survivor. Not sure how much aim assistance is needed for that. Especially as I know that the auto-aim in that Bedelia on basic attacks already is kinda busted and makes you miss and hit things that you should and shouldn't have hit, vice versa. Difficult. Good evening, Kiri. Passive AMP printing is now limited to 97%, meaning you must do the last 3% every single time, so chests are not spamming automatically anymore, which is good. You can't during a chase pick up the EMP anymore and make fun of the killer because you got rid of 17 biopods in a row. It's a little bit over exaggerated, I know, but still. I guess it makes it a little bit more fair to play as and against him with all these changes. So overall I think this is good, makes him easier to pick up, but also a little bit more difficult to master because some limitations are actually brought within that kit. We need to see how this will be going on the long run. Alright, then we are at the perks, which means no trickster changes, which I'm really sad about. Darkness revealed get a buff from 3, 4, 5 seconds to 6, 7, 8 is good, still useless, but it's good, because distortion is still not addressed. Distortion is still the same as before. So our reading perks are a coin toss still. But overall I like that change because 8 seconds is like, holy shit. If you ran Lethal Pursuer only to extend that, that's actually a huge help because you can drop that Lethal Pursuer slot. Because Darkness in itself is already a mini Lethal Pursuer, goddammit. I'm all ears. Change the cooldown from 60, 50, 40 to 60, 45, 30, so basically 30 seconds. I like that because I'm all ears is a good perk. It would be a little bit better on shorter cooldown. I said that several times. Really appreciate that change, that's okay. Trail of Torment. Cooldown reduction from 60 to 30 seconds. Same as I'm all ears. I said with a shorter cooldown it would be better. Really appreciate the change. Stacey, schön genannt. Oppression, same, cooldown reduction from 80 to 40 seconds. Similar as the last two perks, I always said with a shorter cooldown this perk would be a lot more valuable. So I really appreciate that buff. Absolutely really like that. And this way Oppression actually could be a really serious perk, especially combined with Call of Rhine or Overcharge. Both is kind of stupid, but yeah, you get the idea. Dragon's Grip, same, cooldown was halved. I still don't see a use for Dragon's Grip to be honest, but the shorter cooldown maybe makes it valuable in niche perks or builds. Let's see. Machine Learning, increased duration to 60 seconds from 30. Machine Learning is still a shitty perk because the way to cast it or the way to gain value from it is so difficult that even a 60-second duration is not really worth it. You need, so to remind you, you need to kick a gen for that. And then survivors need to finish that gen. That's so counterintuitive, that's yeah, anyways. Auto deduct got a buff. Instead of minus 25%, you start up minus 15. Everything else stays the same, so the healing gets a little bit stronger and faster on the 5th token, but it's less loss on the 1st token, which I really appreciate. That makes auto deduct a better option. Still not a good one, but a better one. And as I like this perk a lot, goddammit. Language, as I like this perk a lot, I really look forward to that. Empathic Connection. Increased healing speed bonus to 30% was 10%. Yeah, leader still better, I guess. Iron Will. Grunts of pain are reduced by 80, 90, 100% instead of 25, 50, 75. If you played that Bedelia for a while, you might remember that it was 100% in the past already. And then they nerfed it because they felt it was too strong. Now they buff it again because they feel it was too weak. Meh. I mean, Iron Will and Calm Spirit are somewhere on a similar page on that one. Probably Calm Spirit will still stay superior here, but we will see about that. Resurgence. Increased healing granted after being unhooked. Buffed to 70% from 50%. Yeah, seems good. Resurgence is not really a meta perk. Is not really considered to be super strong, but I guess this change is really good. Could help it to get a little bit more attention. Solidarity, healing conversation rate from 50 to 70%. This actually makes me consider picking the perk up for some reasons. Because it's actually good. I mean, Solidarity was never really bad, but this actually might help to pick it a little bit more often. Especially if you don't want to pick like botany knowledge or stuff like this and you want to have faster healings. So if the Solidarity healing person heals first, then the second one is super fast done on the healing on the first one. Never mind, you get the idea. Babysitter is changed. Increased duration of haste and pools of blood hiding to 30 seconds from 8 seconds. That actually makes it a lot better, and I guess Babysitter, while it was a kinda niche perk in the past, now actually has some reasonable use. Now the most controversial thing of that patch, probably hook respawns. A new mechanic implemented hooks that a survivor has been sacrificed on will reappear after 60 seconds. I have very mixed feelings about this one again. Sorry. For two reasons. First of all, from a killer perspective, yes, it's freaking annoying if all 4 survivors get downed one after another in the same corner and you need to carry them around. Even if it's like several minutes in between, because then you don't have hooks. At the same time, this takes away safety from survivors, because you could, sometimes intentionally, sometimes due to sheer luck, get a safe zone where you could wiggle off even though you didn't bring boil over, power story, flip-flop, whatever. And I'm not sure if that is actually a good change that's good for the game. I honestly am not sure if that is working out well or not, because the cases where this happened are kinda rare, and at the same time, when they happened, it was extremely rewarding for the survivors. At the same time, extremely punishing for the killer, yes, sure. On the other hand, it was extremely rewarding if you as a killer managed to still hook them even though they try to pull that off. Because sometimes there are maps where no hooks are spawning at all. So yeah, I'm not sure if that is the solution to that. Maybe we need to think a little bit on the timing, I have no idea. Maybe make it 80 or 90 seconds, no clue. Or maybe we just drop that idea completely. But yeah, definitely mixed feelings on this one, because it's not clearly a buff to each other, you know? It's not clearly a buff for killers, nor clearly enough for survivors, nor vice versa. Because honestly, you could consider that also a buff for survivors, because if a killer doesn't need to go out of their way to hook a survivor, they usually hook faster, yes, obviously, but at the same time they are busy and maybe move in a different direction than they would have to move when they had to go for a further away hook. So maybe you actually save another survivor by sacrificing the one on a closer hook. It's weird. It could have so many what if cases and niche cases. We need to pay attention to this one. I'm looking forward if this actually makes it to the live server. I would be really surprised if this in this way will be released on live. Last but not least, map variants. New layouts variation added to Yamaoka and Ormond. This is funny because a few days ago I watched a video of another YouTuber, obviously, what else, and they actually showed some of the map variations that are stored in the game still up to today, but are not used. And both Yamaoka and Ormond are in these videos. I can tell you that one of the Yamaoka estate maps was basically like Rotten Fields or Wrecker's Yard, where you only have a shack in the middle and then some smaller objects and landmarks around it. And a similar one was available for Ormond. And the second one for Ormond was an interesting U-shape, where the main building was basically the corner of them, not the corner but the edge of the map, and then you had a U-shape around it, but you couldn't access the main building. It looked interesting. I'm not sure how good or bad that it would be to play. And another Yamaoka map was basically a combination of the temple or the sanctum and the main family residence, which looked interesting, but two main buildings in one map was thrown away a long time ago. In case you don't know, in the past, when the game was released or shortly before, the big maps, Autohaven, Coldwind Farm and Macmillan Estate were actually one big map, not 5 small ones each. So all of that was combined into one giant map in the very beginning. And they experimented on they experimented on large maps for a long time, but then they decided to go for smaller maps, which is good for the game, not gonna lie. So yeah, looking forward to see what this is bringing. But that's it for that patch. As I said in the beginning already, no Trickster changes, which is kinda sad. But overall, the Singularity and Night changes look good. The perk changes look mostly good. Again, rank script, I'm not sure how to fix that. Machine learning, no clue if you even can fix that. But everything else looks kinda good. Yeah, hook respawn as mentioned, weird. Map variants, we need to see what's actually coming there. But if it's what I saw in these other videos, I will try to link them in the stream chat in a second, and also for YouTube I will link them in the description. Thanks for watching, and until next time.